Hey y'all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Emily J, and today I'm coming at y'all with a highly requested video about my experience at LEDA. So for those of y'all who don't know, LEDA stands for Leadership Enterprise for a Diverse America, and it's basically a college prep program that's 6 weeks over the summer that you'll do before you enter your senior year of high school. So it's a program for rising seniors. All expenses are covered. It's a program dedicated to supporting high school students and getting into some of like the top colleges and across the US. I'm gonna be transparent because I don't like to fake like people hitting up my DMs like that. So yes, so these are like a mixture of questions that I got from y'all and also questions that I've made up myself. So basically the first question is, how does the LEDA application process work? Okay y'all, so if I could recall, because I did LEDA, like I applied my junior year of high school and I'm like a rising junior in college, so I really don't remember much, but I'm gonna try to remember. And I also, please excuse me if y'all see me like looking down. I'm looking at my phone for notes because I genuinely forgot a lot of this stuff. So it's all still coming back to me, so bear with me y'all. So basically I think LEDA was made up of, it comprised of 2 essays. So one was an essay about leadership and basically like what leadership means to me, and another essay was about kind of like my personal statement, like a college personal statement, but like a personal statement for LEDA. And it was like a prompting question that they had about like how my personal experiences have shaped my life. So 2 essays. And then they had a part where you could submit your ACT scores. They asked for those, financial aid documents. Then they asked for recommendations from teachers. When I applied, I had 2, I think the requirement was 2 letter of recs. I asked my, who did I ask to write my letter of rec? I think my principal, no, my guidance counselor wrote one. And I want to say it was my AP English 3 teacher. Shout out to Miss Carrie if you're watching this video. Miss you, love you. I think it was my AP English 3 teacher and my guidance counselor who wrote my letter of recommendations. And then they had basically, after you finished, that was basically round 1 of the application process. So basically like a general application. And then from there, if you advanced to round 2, you had the interview phase where basically they interviewed you, learned more about you, and basically just got to know who you are. And then from there, they would make a decision on if you're admitted into the program or not. So question number 2, what advice do you have for essays and ACT scores? Okay. So for essays, I think the best advice I could give is to just start writing your essays early. So for me, like as I said before, like with LEDA, I was like when I was applying, I didn't know anyone who applied to LEDA, so I was very like I don't know. So I started writing my essays very early. So the application was due in like December. I started writing my essays in October. And basically like after I wrote my essays, I was in a college access program called the Baton Rouge Youth Coalition. Shout out to Britt. They supported me in revising all of my essays. And in addition, one thing that I did that was key was I basically went on LEDA. I went on Instagram and I started researching like LEDA scholars and different things like that, and I saw that like LEDA was tagging like different scholars and stuff. So I went on like their profile and I DM'd like a few of the scholars who like went to some of my dream schools. So like some who went to Harvard, UCLA, different things like that. And I asked them to read over if they could revise and edit my application essays, and if they had like any tips and different things like that on like how to stand out and set myself apart. They had a lot of really good advice. One of them, he actually like really like revised my essays like hard up. Like he went in on my essays and they came out so beautiful. So I definitely recommend use your network. Y'all know y'all can always reach out to me to read your essays, to check them out, to give advice and different things like that. Like I got y'all. I think LEDA was a wonderful experience, and I'm trying to get as many folks as I can into the program and exposed to it. So always feel free to reach out to me and I'll definitely give y'all like revisions and different things like that. So in regards to advice for ACT scores, I think being very candid with y'all, the ACT scores are like the least of y'all worries for LEDA. Like they're there to support you. They're so supportive and they have so many resources for the ACT and helping you get your score up. Like definitely don't worry sis, they got you, period. Okay y'all, so my camera died like again, so hopefully this is it so I can finish this video because I am tired. So let's get through this video so I can go to bed because I got work in the morning. Okay y'all, so basically the next question I got is what kind of extracurriculars should I be involved in to get into LEDA? Literally fam, you can do anything. Like I had so many friends who did so many like different extracurriculars. So one of my friends, like I know for me, like I did a lot of social justice and advocacy work at my high school. Some of my friends, they like did work with like coding. Some of them were like really big in STEM, so they did like research on like a college level. Some like, and you know, like some people like we're athletes. Like I know for me, I was a mix of like a advocate and also like a student athlete. So really like LEDA, they take into account like anything with extracurriculars. Like really you can do anything that you want to do. Like there is no particular extracurricular that you have to do to get into LEDA. Like it's not like a college thing. The thing with LEDA is the only thing that they help you do is they help you take all those extracurriculars that you're in and they help you to list it on your application and really tell a compelling story about the work that you're doing. So all I would recommend doing, like when listing your extracurriculars, literally you can list anything that you want. I don't think that you should be limited or that you should feel limited. Tell your story, tell what you're involved in, and just be real about it. So another question I got was what was my experience like in LEDA? So as I give details of my experience, I want y'all to really take note of this too, because as you craft your applications or like go through the interview process and like they're going to ask you like how can LEDA support you, you can use a lot of this information within your interviews and stuff to like say like, well, I know like they have aspects of leadership classes and that would benefit me by ... So like really take note of these things because you can also incorporate it in your application. But for me, like my experience at LEDA was really nice. I really enjoyed it and I think I had a good time. I made a lot of good friends and different things like that, and overall it was a good experience. And basically what the program does is they have like different aspects of it. So the first part is like the aspects of leadership program. With aspects of leadership, they basically, it's kind of like a class that prepares you. It kind of helps you to redefine what does leadership mean for you, and they basically teach you like about like the college, like different things like social justice issues going on around the country. So I got to like towards the like latter half of the program, they work with you to develop like your own initiative. It's one component of the program. So then there's also the ACT component. So basically with ACT prep, I think we met like Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And basically, as I mentioned before, they would have like someone from Advantage Testing come and lead the class, and basically you will go through the entire ACT, like different strategies. You will learn how to approach ACT problems and different things like that. And, the next aspect of LEDA was the it was something else that we did. Oh yeah, the college seminar. Yes. So basically with the college seminar, that would happen like every morning, like every other day. So I think that was like Tuesdays and Thursdays or something. And basically in the seminar, they will walk us through like the college application process, things like that. Like they really break down the college process and like the college application process. So that was that we walk away really understanding like what we're getting ourselves into, the different stages of the process, and how we can prepare. And the last part of the program was the writing class. So with the writing class, they basically prepared us for collegiate writing, different things. So it started off with like how to write a collegiate paper, and then we also had to work on how to write like a how to write a collegiate paper, and then how to write a personal statement and different things like that. So we would have like meetings or like tutoring sessions that were mandatory, and we had to meet with like our writing instructor, and they would walk us through that program and like through that aspect of it. And we also had different bonding activities. Like we used to go to this place called Wawa all the time, and it's like right across the street from the dorm that we stayed in, and a Wawa has, their coffee is so good. Like I can't remember what kind of coffee it is, but it's just like, it's like a frappe, but not a frappe. It's like a hot frappe. I can't remember what it's called, but it's so good. And oh my gosh, the Wawa was just amazing. And basically it's like we would go there for like snacks. We had a curfew for like 9 o'clock, I think. It's like, so basically I would like rush to the Wawa before 9 to like give me some coffee, then I would rush back in the dorm. Yes. And the next question I got to build off of that is, what is a typical day like? What is a typical day in life at LEDA? So basically a typical day in LEDA, I think I remember I would get up at about 7 a.m. every morning. I would get up at 7 a.m. Some of my friends would get up at 5 a.m. to go running. Like, I think curfew, like, basically we had to be in the dorm by 9, and we could leave out as early as 5 a.m. So some of them will, like, leave to go, like, on jogs and different things like that. I tried it, and I could never get up at 5 a.m. not to go running. Not I. Look, not I. I would never. So they will go, like, running. I know for me, I used to get up at about 7 a.m.-ish to be in class for 8, y'all. Basically the first half of the day would be like on Mondays and Wednesdays would be our writing class, and then we would go to lunch for like an hour. And their lunch was so good. They used to have, like, it was like a restaurant that we used to eat at, and they had like chicken tenders, burgers, like it was A1. And we would go to lunch, and then after we would go, like, on Mondays and Wednesdays we would go to our ACT class after. So we would be in class from like 12 to 3 or 4, 12 to 4 I think, and it was like a 4-hour ACT class on Mondays and Wednesdays. On Tuesdays and Thursdays we would do the college class in the morning, so basically learning about the college experience and like what I was telling y'all about. So it would be led by our college guidance counselors, so we would go to that in the mornings. And then what happened after that? We would go to lunch, and then we would go to our aspects of leadership class, and we would stay in that class until the afternoons. On Fridays, I think it was Fridays was our writing class, then lunch, and then we would have the ACT class. So Fridays were a bit more, they were more chill, or like I think it was less movement. So it would be like our writing class, lunch, and then the ACT class. And it was okay. Like, I think like it was okay, but it basically like you went to class from like 8 to 4 or 8 to 3, one of those, I can't remember. And then like you had the rest of the afternoon to yourself. Yeah, I would work out a lot and just hang out with friends. For me, I also hung out a lot in the library and did homework and stuff, and prep for like the ACT and different things like that. Like just cute things to, you know, kind of like get through the day. And in a way, I think they definitely treated it, it was very much like I felt like I was in college. Like I went to class in the first half of like during the day, and then it's like I had the afternoons to like hang out, to study, to like walk around campus, go get something to eat from the from like the Wawa and different things like that, or you know, different places on campus. They also had like a downtown area, which I forgot to mention. They had like a downtown area in Princeton, so we could go like to Walgreens. You could walk there, but you can go like to Walgreens. They had like a few shopping areas, a church, and different things like that. A lot of restaurants, so like Panera Bread. So the next question I got is, how did the interview process work, and how can I prepare for the interview? So basically for me, the interview process was it's a part of like round 2 of the application process. So basically if you get past round 1, you go through round 2, which is the interview process. And they just asked like I can't remember the questions. I remember them asking like, why LEDA, how can LEDA best support me, and different things like that. And what I did was I went on College Confidential, which I highly don't recommend. Don't go on College Confidential. A lot of these questions you could really get when you just type in like sample interview questions. Like, but basically some people went to like College Confidential. I went to College Confidential to see like what questions they were asking in the interview, and I put together like sample responses. Like I like wrote out my sample responses, and like I use that as like a guide throughout my interview. Yeah, I think the only tip I have is like, if you do the outline thing, don't read off a script. Like just be genuine about your responses. Like just be like very honest and open. You could use the script for like an outline, like to help you guide you through it, but don't read like, you don't want to be robotic. Like you want to be very authentic and very genuine about why you want to be in the program. So just be you and just trust that it'll all work out, because you got it, period. The next question I got was, did you travel or have college visits during your time in LEDA? Yes, as I mentioned before, we got to go to like a lot of different places. Like we got to visit Barnard, Columbia, Swarthmore, UPenn, and Georgetown, and they basically split it up into 2 weekends. And we also got to go to New York, and basically like just walk around New York. I got to go to Times Square, which was really nice, very briefly. I think like for me, I really fell in love with Columbia, UPenn, and Georgetown, and I ended up getting into Columbia and Georgetown, but then I chose Stanford. But I think like Columbia was for the longest my dream school. I love New York, but I also really like UPenn as well. I felt like it was a nice campus. A lot of people didn't like it, but I liked it. It was a nice campus. They had everything I wanted, and you know, like really having that sense of community, I felt like I really enjoyed it, as well as Georgetown. Georgetown was also very nice. What are some highlights that I had throughout the program? Highlights I had, I think I definitely made a lot of good friends, some who I'm still very close with. What else? I think too, like I loved having kind of like the mini college experience. It felt like I was on college. It felt like I was a college student, and I kind of got like a taste of what it's like to be in college, and I really enjoyed that. And I also think too, like the free food, it was a lot of free food, a lot of good free food. And I think like the trips too, like the trips were legendary. Like I had a really good time on the trips. And yeah, I really enjoyed my time. The last question I got is, what other programs are out there outside of LEDA? So I think this is a good question, especially like if you don't get admitted to LEDA, or it's like you want to kind of explore different options or like different programs and apply to different things. For one, I want to let y'all know, please don't get discouraged if you don't get into LEDA. There are so many college access programs dedicated to helping like rising high school seniors get into like really good colleges and helping them navigate the college application process. So don't get discouraged if it's like you don't get into LEDA. That doesn't mean that you're not going to get into a good school or anything like that. Like I know tons of people who didn't get into LEDA, but they still ended up getting into like really good like schools and stuff, and like having like a lot of scholarships and finding support to help them navigate the college process, no matter what college they went to. All colleges are good colleges, all programs are good programs, and all of them are going to carry you even further. A few programs I could think of off the top of my head, I'm also going to link some in the description box, include Questbridge College Preppers. In addition, they have the SCS Noonan Scholars program, the Franklin and Marshall College Prep program, which I also got into. They have a program at USC. I forgot what it's called, but when I figure it out, I will let you know. And I know too, they also have like a lot of college programs. Like colleges will offer like summer programs, or it's like you could do research and different things. I definitely recommend applying it if you're low income. Like I know for me, that was a factor that kind of influenced why I didn't do a lot of programs. So like what I didn't know is they actually offer like full financial aid. So make sure that you contact those programs to get information and insight on those financial aid and the resources that they have available, because a lot of my friends got to do those programs for free, and it was like a very similar experience to LEDA. So I definitely recommend seeking those and exploring those. And I just want to thank y'all so much for watching. Please make sure to like, subscribe, comment, turn on those notifications. I just want to know like what colleges are y'all interested in. If you have any questions about LEDA, or if you would like me, what other videos would y'all like to see, and if you would like me to do a Q&A part 2, let me know. Drop that in the comments below. I can't wait to hear from y'all. But thank you so much, and until next time, y'all.